Hey everyone, it's Thomas here. So for the next 5 days, I'll be posting a video every single day with the hope of raising money to help fight this pandemic. So let's not use this space to debate about the pandemic. It's not the place for it. Now on my wife's side, somebody did pass away from it. So first-hand experience. Heck, everything on Thomas Stereo, first-hand experience, man. So the reason why I'm doing this is simply because I want to help. I want to do something to help with this disaster. And I believe a lot of people also want to do something. And one of the things that's stopping them can be the fear of not knowing for sure if the money they're giving out is going to the right place. Now, that's why I took some time to research on Doctors Without Borders to make sure that they're legit. I've spoken to them. My friend have met doctors from there. Someone I know has volunteered there. So I'm pretty sure they're legit. You know, this YouTube channel is one of the best things I ever started in my life. Not only it gave me the chance to feel like a movie star when I go to a hi-fi trade show, it also allowed me the chance to try different gear as well as meeting people. Brought a whole community together and gave me the chance to interact with people. And for that alone, it's totally worth all the energy and time I spent building this channel. Now, if I can use this channel to make the world a better place by bringing some positiveness to it, that would be so incredible. So that's part of the reason why I want to start this fundraiser. I also want to take this time to say thank you because I'm about to reach 30,000 subscribers. Can you imagine that 30,000 people click on the subscribe button? That alone is a miracle in itself. All right, so let's start today's video. Hey everyone, it's Thomas here. So today I'm going to talk about the Focal Kanta and the Focal Sopra 2. And, oh, there's a rabbit outside. Cool. Anyway, so why should I care about a $15,000 speaker? Aren't you a bit curious? What can a $15,000 speaker do that a $1,000 speaker cannot do? After all, I mean, a $1,000 speaker, $2,000 speaker can produce the same frequency range as a $15,000 speaker. 30 kilohertz down to 30 hertz. What's the big deal? If you're curious, stick around. So, I have a lot of stories to tell because I own maybe 7 pairs of Focals. I'll start by the story with Frederick. Okay, so one day Frederick dropped by and he said, oh, okay, first time I'm going to get to listen to the Focals. Interesting. And we listened to the song Hotel California and he was like, whoa, did you hear that, Thomas? There's something at the back there. I've never heard that at my place. I told Frederick, you know what? No, it's there at your home. You can hear it. It's just that you never pay attention to it. With the Focal Kanta, information is just thrown at you. You're getting assaulted by information. You don't have to pay any effort to hear the details. See, detail for me is a question of effort. All the information is there. You hear it with a budget system, high-end system, doesn't matter. It's just a question of how much effort you have to put in. So Frederick went home, he listened to his system, came back and said, yeah, it's true, you know, I heard it at my place. But with the Focal Kanta, man, I mean, I don't have to do anything and I hear everything. So that's one advantage of having, you know, high-end speakers. Of course, there are a lot of other things, but this is just one example. Now, Focal, I have owned maybe 6-7 pairs. I had the 836V, 836W, 926, 936, 1027, 1028, Focal Kanta 2, and Focal Sopra 2. So you're probably wondering, for those of you who own the budget Focal, should I upgrade to, let's say, the Sopra 2 or the Kanta 2? So let me tell you a few stories. Well, I think I'll just tell you one. My first Focal was the 836V. Sold it for about $1,300. I regret selling it. If you can find a pair for like $1,000 US, maybe less even, man, you should get it. Well, because that's my very first speaker where it was really detailed, and I was on the Focal bandwagon ever since, man. It's like, I need detail, and Focal delivers. So I pick a pair up, and then I show it to my friend, whom I'll call Mr. Kanta, because he used to own a pair of Focal Kanta. And I said, you know, you got to pick up a pair, man. These 836V are phenomenal. So he picked up a pair. Later on, I picked up a pair of 1028. I said, you know, these speakers are phenomenal. So Mr. Kanta also picked up a pair of Focal 1028. Now, the difference between the two Focal is that one uses a beryllium tweeter, the 1028, and the 836 uses a normal, I think it's magnesium or whatever. So I will say this about the difference between, let's say, the regular magnesium, I think it's magnesium tweeter versus the beryllium. And don't take this literally, okay? It's just a way for me to try to explain it. Now, let's play this song, for example. If I have to describe it with something physical, it will be like this. The regular tweeter sounds like marbles. You have marbles. That sparkling sound, right? Ding, ding, ding. They're like marbles. They're big and they're round. While with the beryllium tweeter, they feel like powdery sand. They're so refined, so small, so detailed. And as I said, don't take it literally, but that's the kind of feeling I get. Focal speakers, if you can describe it, they're bright, they're detailed, there's a lot of clarity, mid-range is a bit thin. When it comes to bass, the one that uses flex cone are fast and agile, and the one that uses the regular woofers, they do have a lot of punch when it comes to bass. And you know, we talked about it. We're like, you know, I don't know if there's a big difference between both. In terms of price, there's a big difference, but in terms of performance, I'm not too sure there's a big difference. 836V has detail, good mid-range, powerful bass, even more powerful bass than the 1028, smoother bass with the 1028, but the 1028 has beryllium tweeter. So Mr. Focal listened to the 1028 for a while, and one day he told me, you know, Thomas, I think I'm going to sell it because I think the 836V is good enough. You know, it costs a few times more to keep the 1028 than the 836V. So he sold the 1028. And then he took out the 836V. And then he listened. 10 minutes later, he said, I can't listen to this anymore. Turn it off. Stopped listening to music for 2 weeks until I lent him my dying audio speakers. Then he started listening to music again. And he said, just based on memory, I thought that was good enough. But once you're used to the higher end speakers with the beryllium tweeter, you quickly realize that the 836V feels like a AV speaker, a home theater speaker, where things are just quote unquote fake. It's like listening to MP3 versus CD. It's just, there's something off, right? It's just not, there's a bit of compression with the 836V relative to the 1028. So should you upgrade? Depends on you, because it depends how sensitive you are to that. And if you get a chance to A/B test it, you'll be more convinced if you have a chance to A/B test it. If you go from 936 all the way to Focal Kanta, I assure you, you will hear a difference. For us, it's a world of difference. Focal Kanta 2, now I group it with 936 because they use the same flex cone. Problem with 926, 936 is that when it comes to bass, they're lightning fast, but they're not punchy. Focal Kanta is punchier, and with the beryllium tweeter, it is definitely like 2 levels up. Now, what about Focal Kanta 2 versus the Sopra 2? See, Focal Kanta 2 is about 12 grand, Sopra 2 is about 15 Canadian. And at the time, me and my friend were like, you know, should we upgrade? Should we upgrade? And then a subscriber of mine, Brett, thank you, he sold it to me at a very good price. He even paid free shipping all the way from Alberta. So thanks to him, I got the dream speaker. So how does the Sopra 2 compares to the Focal Kanta 2? In terms of tweeter, I would say they're about the same. I won't pass a blind test. I won't bet like 50 bucks with you. I know Kanta 2 has the newer tweeter, but whatever, okay? When it comes to mid-range, Sopra 2 is silky smooth, buttery smooth. Focal Kanta 2 is a bit more forward and there's texture to it. Maybe that's the thing about these paper cone. Well, they're trying to mimic the paper property with those flex cone. Now, the big difference for me, of course, is in the bass. Focal Kanta 2, if I play a track like this, so this is a standard track I use to test the speed of a woofer. Now, what do I mean by speed? Okay, like this is my definition. It's not like, Thomas, you know, oh, why do I need that expensive speaker? You know, on my own system, I can play YouTube at 1.5 times the speed and the music will go faster. Is that what you mean by speed? No, obviously not. So this is my definition of it, okay? For me, when we talk about, let's say, the Focal Kanta, the woofer, for me, they can start and stop instantaneously. So when it comes to bass, you go boom, 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 boom. Because of that, the clarity in the bass is amazing. So when you take a budget speaker, what I noticed is that because it cannot start and stop instantaneously, there's a bit of overlap. Because there's a bit of overlap between the start and stop, it feels a little bit muddy relative to, let's say, a Focal Kanta. Sopra 2, somewhere in between. It's not as fast as the Kanta 2, but it has a lot of weight, a lot of heft, a lot of power. I mean, a lot of power. And this is the part where it impressed me a lot with the Sopra 2, because one of the big turning point in my audio journey is that I got to hear my friend's system. Now that's right now it's about $300,000, that system. And I've told this story in the past, but let me repeat it. So I remember the day when I dropped by his place and I listened to this song called Angel. And Angel, if you think about that song, there's no bass, but it starts off with a grand piano. And I remember that feeling when that piano starts playing, I can feel the weight, the strength, the power, the illusion of that grand piano in the room. And I realized that, whoa, the vibration from the floor, I can feel it. That's where I go like, wow, this is why you need low, powerful bass. And that's why I was really happy when I got the Sopra 2, because it has low, powerful bass. It had weight, it had power, it had strength. So if you're somebody who's looking for that, I think it has one of the most bass I've ever come across. So what are the areas of opportunity then? Why you have to be careful when you're choosing the Sopra 2? As you move up in the speaker world, one challenge you're going to face is how to get it to sound good. With budget gear, it's easy. With high-end gear, it's difficult. The strength of the bass is a double-edged sword. The problem is that my room is not big enough to handle it. That's unfortunate. I have about 300 square feet. I need about 700 square feet to handle this kind of bass, even with all my bass trap and so forth. So when I listen to it, I actually have to open up all the doors to let the energy escape. So in that sense, I would say because of my room size, maybe a Kanta 3 would be perfect for my room. Kanta 2, I wish I had a bit more punch with the bass. So that's why I say Kanta 3 would be perfect. It's too bad because I've been searching for this power, this energy. That's why my own reference speaker, the Titan Tigris, has a lot of power when it comes to the low end. It's like having 4 subwoofers. Like these are 8-inch Kevlar woofers. Lots of power to bass, but it lacks a bit of refinement in that speaker. But with the Focal Sopra 2, it has the power, the refinement, the smooth mid-range. It's just, damn it, I don't have the room for it. And the other thing, Focal Kanta 2, you can drive it with decent gear. It's good enough. It shines. Sopra 2, you need like $30,000 front end gear to drive it. My gear is not good enough for it. I say that because, you know, I removed the power conditioner, you can already tell the difference. You know, every time we change something, the difference is significant as we move up. And that's where we go like, yeah, my Moon W5.3, man, is not good enough to drive the Sopra 2. So if you're thinking about the Sopra 2, make sure you have another like 30,000 on the side to upgrade your front end too. Kanta 2 is okay, you know, normal gear, even name those integrated, we heard that at the show, it sounds fantastic. I know both are 91 dB, but that's the thing, numbers versus real world experience is completely two different things. All right, so let's end the video now, and I'm gonna finish it with another story. Remember I said in the beginning, detail is a question of effort. all the information is there. If you listen carefully, you'll hear it, even with budget speakers. That's kind of true, but also kind of not true. Let me explain, okay? All right, so this is, I'll just call it Chinese violin. I think it's called erhu, and that's the real term for it. It has 2 strings, you have a bow with a rosin. So on a normal speaker, when the musician pulls on the bow, you know, you'll hear that the music is really smooth and so forth. But as you move into higher end gear, you're gonna feel the resistance of the string. This is one of the standard tracks I use to test. And that's one thing I noticed as I move up higher in the speaker world, especially with my friends that like $300,000 system. You can really feel the resistance of the string from the Chinese violin. And that's why there's a reason why people spend a lot of money on high-end gear. And it's not for everyone. Do you need to hear the vibration of the string, feel the resistance? No, you don't. You don't need it to enjoy music. But I'm just saying that it's out there. There's a reason why we're paying a certain amount of money for higher end gear. And once you get a chance to actually A/B test it, and with a bit of guidance, because in the beginning we need a bit of like, okay, this is what you listen for, this is what you listen for. Once you get used to it, eventually it just becomes second nature. Eventually I'll make more videos on high-end speakers. I have the PMC Fact 8 coming in. And I'm going to compare it to the Sopra 2 because both are about 15,000. And I'd like to see how it performs in my room, and stay tuned for that. All right, so that's my take on the Sopra 2 and the Kanta 2. Now, if your wife or husband kills you because you spent over $10,000 buying this pair of speaker, make sure you don't blame me. All right, see you next time.
Eyes glow like 2 fires, movement so graceful. Wildcat in the jungle with dangerous claws. Movement she anticipates, a sight is set on her prey. Like stars in the darkest night, crystallize, fascinate. If you wanna stay alive, if you don't wanna be her prey, don't stand in her way. Run, run, run away. Crystallize, 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 watching her prey. Crystallize, crystallize, fascinate. Eyes glow like 2 fires, movement so graceful. Wildcat in the jungle with dangerous claws. Movement she anticipates, a sight is set on her prey. Like stars in the darkest night, crystallize, fascinate. If you wanna stay alive, if you don't wanna be her prey, don't stand in her way. Run, run, run away. Crystallize, 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 watching her prey. Crystallize, 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 fascinate. Fascinate.